Hey, what's up, Glenn? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Not too much, man. I'm excited to talk to you, man. I've been trying to track you down for a while now for my site, so it's exciting to get a chance to talk to you. You know?
Oh man. Yeah, I know it's kind of been a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, just making sure.
A lot of the readers on my site are big fans of yours too, and you know, they all wanted to hear from you. So, man, I've been excited about doing this interview. So.
Oh man, but I'm glad you could have me, man. I'm, kind of, getting my feet wet again.
Yep. Let's get right into it now. I mean, you know, I've been a big supporter of your music for years now, and you know, like I said, it's excited to hear you're back and you're recording again. You know, tell me about the new album you're working on. How's that coming along?
I'm just right now I'm just in the zone of just, I really just in a good place in my life and just want to have fun and wanting that to translate live. So I was really conscious in the process of just, recording these songs to put me and my personal experiences in it to make it personal like that, so that it makes it relevant, it makes it personal with the crowd, and just always thinking of live like the byproduct of like the whole live experience. You just want to make that as as much fun as possible. So a lot of that went into the process of just making a new album.
Yep. Okay. And speaking of those snippets, I listened to them, and the two that really stood out to me were the songs "Blameless" and "Wish You Were Here." Can you give me a little background on each of those songs?
Yeah, sure. Well, "Blameless" is just kind of like your typical scenario in a relationship of just having the differences and seeing things from different perspectives, different point of view, and trying to arrive at that place sometimes of either agreeing to disagree or just whatever compromises sometimes that you got to make in relationships. But it's me basically just saying it's a situation where a person like pointing out everything that I'm doing wrong. And I'm saying that sometimes in situations it takes two. So I'm saying you can't always be blameless, basically. And it's just me sort of like making my argument.
Yeah. Okay. And then, and then the song.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you needed me a break from it.
Yeah.
But and then "Wish You Were Here" basically it's just it's just it's basically a song regarding just having you can have like everything right within your fingertips, or just the dream life and everything can be perfect, but if you don't really have somebody to share it with, it's kind of empty. So basically, the message of the song is along those lines of just like being in a position where you got everything, but you wish that particular person that has your heart, you wish they were there, whether it's somebody that you actually with, or maybe somebody that maybe you're no longer together anymore, but just that connection is always there, that bond is always there.
Okay. And now for the fans who haven't had a chance to hear these songs yet, can you just explain the sound you're going for on the album? Is it comparable to the type of music you put out before? Just what are you going for on this album in terms of sound?
As far as what I'm going for sound, really I just wanted to make music that I wanted to first make music I wanted to hear. Because just listening to everything that's out there is just, kind of like a feel of like, what's missing. And I mean, at the end of the day, just in the whole creative process, the way that you get something that's really, that people are going to feel is when it's, obviously it's genuinely you. And, sometimes you got to be a little bit selfish in the creative process. So, I just really wanted to make music that I would want to hear, and that whole thinking was kind of shaped out of, all the great music that I've grown up listening to, albums that I still go back and listen to, or even actually, to be honest with you, even music that's out right now that's inspiring. So I just incorporated all those things into the whole process of making an album, and just wanted to make something that felt good to me. Believing that would translate. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Can you talk? Can you talk about some music that's out now that inspires you?
Let's see. Okay, it might sound kind of strange because I draw inspiration from a lot of different sources and I listen to a lot of different things. But even though John Mayer had that little incident, however long ago, I still love John Mayer. I respect him musically and lyrically. I think he's a brilliant songwriter. I think he's a great artist. Let me see. Also, I like a lot of, certain hip-hop artists and stuff like that as far as, like, lyrical wordplay, like listening to, like, Lupe Fiasco. And I'm big on lyrics. And musicality. And, like, just creative people. But sometimes even just fun stuff, like a lot of Black Eyed Peas that I like too. Different, just drawing inspiration from different things and just being into different types of music. But also there's like albums, from back in the day that I still listen to today. Like Welcome to Detroit, the Joe Dilla album, and I still listen to like D'Angelo's Brown Sugar. So I draw inspiration from a lot of different sources.
Okay, cool. Now going back to the new album real quick, can you tell me like who you're working on in terms of production, writers, and features? I heard you were working with Dre and Vidal again. But if you could expand on that.
I had the opportunity, like after the first album, to kind of going my separate ways. Just in having creative differences with Sony and us going separate ways. Having the opportunity to work with a variety of different producers on my own and being in different situations. And after a few years had passed, Vidal and Dre and myself reconnected like in '09.
Okay.
And we talked about getting back together and doing it again. And I was really excited about it because we hadn't worked in such a long time. And it's been from basically like '05 to 08 or whatever. '05 to '09. So anyway, I eventually came out to Philadelphia and reconnected with the cats. And we just got it in, man. It's just like just kind of like picked up where we left off. But obviously there's a lot of growth and all those things kind of came to the table. And it was fun though. In a lot of ways it was like old times. So it was really great being able to reconnect with them because in a lot of ways, there's certain people you work with in your lifetime that just have, you just have a certain kind of chemistry with them that, but there's something about it that just works. Not necessarily other situations don't, but you just have it's not magic, but they just know me. They know me so well that it's always a situation where I feel like they really bring out the best in me as far as like producers. So it's just like the no-brainer for us to kind of come back together and do this album.
Okay, cool. And if I could ask you, prior to this album, what you were working on, I had heard you were working on a project with the Underdogs that was going to be called Remember Me, and I've actually heard a bunch of songs that were from those sessions. I think were from those sessions. Can you just tell me, what happened with this project and why it wasn't able to work out?
I had signed to the Underdogs in 2007, and we did an album, and it was just, it was one of those things where, we tried, we tried taking the project to different places, and for one reason or another, it was just mostly a timing thing. So we eventually parted ways. But it was on a good note. I'm still cool with the cats, and they're still, monsters at what they do. And but for whatever reason, it was just one of those things that it was just a timing thing, and the project just, it just never came out.
Okay. There's actually a song I recently heard by you. I'm not sure if it's from these sessions or not, from the Remember Me sessions, but it's called Relax. And, man, from the minute I heard that song, I was blown away by it, and I can't stop listening to it. Can you just tell me about this song, Relax? Because, man, I fell in love with it from the first time I heard it. It's crazy.
Actually, yeah, Relax is actually a recording that I did in a whole separate situation.
Oh, okay.
With a friend of mine, DJ Terry Hunter, and he's out of Chicago, and he's actually he's like a real prominent house drum and bass DJ out of Chicago, and I met him. I met him through like DJ Jazzy Jeff. And Jeff and I knew each other from just me being in Philly and kind of coming through the whole Touch of Jazz situation, and then hooking up with Dre and Adele. But yeah, me and Terry connected, and we had cut a bunch of records, and we just I think he's gotten that particular record license, to write different compilations, different things like that. And I put the record out myself, like I just kind of leaked it, sort of thing, just to let people hear what I was doing. And I got some pretty positive feedback off of that, and it was a lot of fun working with him.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
He actually, I forgot to mention, Terry actually had produced this song, what's that, the joint from Raheem DeVaughn, Songs About You, or You.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Another song I'd like to mention of yours is Storm, because over the years I've connected with a lot of your fans, and that always seems to be a fan favorite. Just tell me a little bit about that song, Storm.
Storm, that's well, when I was living out in Los Angeles between '06 and I was back and forth between '06 and '08, and one of the cats that I met out there, I've met a lot of songwriters, a lot of different artists and producers and everything. And one of the cats that I met out there is, super talented songwriter, this cat James Fauntleroy.
Oh, okay.
And we worked on a lot of different songs together. And as a matter of fact, he was basically one of the main people I was collaborating with on the Remember Me project.
Okay.
And Storm was one of the records that we actually cut for the Remember Me album.
Yep. Okay. And another one I've had a chance to hear, and this was on your MySpace page a few years back, was the song House on the Beach, and I really like that one too. Was that from the same sessions?
Yeah, matter of fact, most of the stuff on that MySpace page, that was all stuff that was supposed to be on Remember Me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that one too. There's some good stuff on there.
Thanks, man.
And now, yeah, no problem. If I could ask you now about your Back for More album, unfortunately, it currently, I never got a chance to release here in the U.S. But I've had a chance to hear the whole thing, and I'm a big fan of that album. Can you just give me your thoughts briefly on that album, the Back for More album?
Oh yeah. The Back for More album was supposed to be my sophomore album on Sony, and around that time there was a lot of shifts and a lot of changes happening over at Sony, and it was kind of a thing where I wanted to go in a particular direction, they wanted me to go in a particular direction, and just trying to get on the same page was a little bit difficult because there was a lot going on around that time. And, it just got to a point where it seemed like the better choice to make was to leave and, try to go in another direction with maybe somebody else. But the Back for More album that was done, I did work with Alan J, and we ended up doing, I think it was maybe 12 or 13 cuts for that album. And Back for More was supposed to be the lead-off single. Yeah. And it did its thing a little bit, and that was a lot of fun shooting the video for it too. I got a chance to go back home, shoot the video, and had a lot of friends come out. Vince Carter came out, and Cardinal Fischel. There was a lot of cats that came, checked me on set just to say what's up, and some of them, making cameos. So it was really cool. It was nice to be able to be back home. It was a great experience. And You know, it was a really great album, and we did a lot of good work. But it was just one of those things. It was just timing.
Yeah. Let me ask you though. You know, I have some personal favorites from the album, but you know, if you could have chose a second single from that album, what would it have been?
Oh well, I really feel strongly about Selfishly.
Okay.
Selfishly was a good record, and I thought that No Ordinary Day was a good record.
Yep.
There was a few of them, man. Missing My Woman.
Yep.
You know, Shame on You was cool. What was the one joint? The guitar joint. Damn. I can't believe I'm blanking on the wrong joint. Wow. I think it was This Time is dope. And then there was another one. This Time, there's another one. That's the one I'm blanking on right now. But yeah, there was a few of them, man.
Yeah.
I would say This Time was a good one. Selfishly was a good one.
Yeah. Now, and something that's bothered me though is, you know, over the years I've heard a couple artists, you know, remakes or you know have their own version of the songs that appear. A couple of songs that were on the album, you know, such as ABC, Missing My Woman, and The Most. You know, I've heard those done by other artists, and in my opinion, it's never even been close to your version. So, you know, how did that make you feel hearing that?
I mean, it's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we took those songs especially for my album, and you know, people. I credit, you know, each version of each song because I also know that, you know, in recreating a song or recreating a vibe, you got to get in your own zone and you got to own it and make it yours.
Yeah.
So I like the versions that were done.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just kind of cool. It's interesting to listen to, you know, the way that I interpreted the song and how I did it, and then how somebody else interpreted it. I actually kind of liked it. So when I first heard them, I was like, oh, that's kind of great.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
But, yeah, you know, it was cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
No hard feelings at all?
No, I mean, no, you know, there's no reason. I mean, it was one of them things where when I left here, you know, it's like, you know, this is stuff that we all worked on, but, you know, with Al and Jerry, you know, putting such great work into those songs, and those were great songs. You want those songs to come out, you want them to be heard, you know, and for whatever reason, it didn't work out as far as, you know, the same situation.
Yeah.
And I had left at the time, so, you know, and I went in like a different direction. So, you know, it's like you still want those songs to be heard, and they're great songs. So, you know, it's like, you know, it's cool. That's just kind of like, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be surprised, man, like you'd be surprised how many times, like, songs are actually cut by one artist, but you never hear a lot.
Oh,
and then for whatever reason, maybe the artist didn't take the song, or for one reason or another, something happens and they don't end up doing it, or they don't end up, you know, it just doesn't end up on their project. And then another artist would pick it up, but you'd never know.
Yeah. Damn. The reason that, you know, it got to me a little bit was because, you know, I'm a fan of your music, and then, you know, I had a friend years ago come to me and he said, oh, I heard this new Chris Brown song, it's called ABC. I'm like, no, man, that's a Glenn Lewis song. You know, it's people don't even know sometimes, you know, people don't even understand.
I remember that too.
So.
Good, man.
But yeah.
But I appreciate that. You know, if I didn't mention already earlier, man, I appreciate the love on that, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. And
really doing your homework.
Yeah, and my choice, I mean, would have been, I like Missing My Woman a lot. That would have been my choice for a single. But that's just, I like that one.
No, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, so let me talk about two other songs I really like from you. That's both of the songs you did with Amel Larrieux. You know, What's Come Over Me and Where's the Love. Tell me what it was like working with her.
It was long overdue as far as I was concerned, because I always wanted to know where. But I mean, I wasn't even know. I just remember, you know, seeing, you know, like when Groove Theory first came out and seeing like a couple videos they did, and I'm like, man, she's so dope. And the thing is, the one thing I identified in her like right away is I could hear like TV influence. I could hear that she listened to Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
So I automatically, I don't care how many times you hear me talk about Stevie, because as far as I'm concerned, he's just he's a genius. He loves Stevie. But I identified, that was one of the first things I identified.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I would love to work with her. This is before I even had like my Sony deal or whatever.
Yeah.
And I ended up on Sony, and she's still over there. And it was so crazy because it was actually pitched to me. It was like, yeah, you got this barbershop soundtrack thing that's coming up, and we want you to do a record with Amel. And I was like, oh, what I'm saying? It was no brainer. Like,
yeah.
Anybody got to ask. They didn't have to ask me. They wanted more about it. But we got together, and it was really cool to be able to work with her. She's super down to earth, one of the most beautiful souls you could ever meet.
Yep. And
really sharp, super intelligent, just real good people, man. She's just really cool. It's like, just having the opportunity to get to know her a little bit. Like she's an awesome human being.
Yeah. You both did an amazing job on both those songs, man. I still listen to both of them to this day, and I still love them. Great job on those.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yep. Another thing another song I wanted to ask you about. I did a little research. I wanted to see what the fans are talking about in terms of Glenn Lewis songs on Twitter, and the 3 songs that I found the most people were talking about of yours were "Storm," "Don't You Forget It," and the third one is the song you did, "Fall Again." Talk to me about that one.
You want me to talk a little bit about Fall Again?
Yeah, "Fall Again." Tell me about that one.
That was a song that was pitched to me when I had apparently Jennifer Lopez had this movie coming up, and we both on Sony, and I heard that she had liked my work and everything, and I was like, wow, what I'm saying, it was amazing because needless to say, I had huge respect for Jennifer and all the work she had done, and and then I had the opportunity to be a part of the soundtrack, and in particular, one of the executives that was handling my project had said that, hey man, I got this song that I would really love for you to do for the soundtrack. And I'm like, okay, cool, let me check it out. So he played it for me, and I totally related to the lyric, and I just thought it was a classic joint, and I ended up recording it for the album.
Yep.
And it was crazy. Like, after doing it, and after it came out in the movie and everything, there were so many people that was like, yo, where can I get that? And we can buy that. I'm like, well, I guess it's a soundtrack. You can buy it from the soundtrack. Man, I need to get my hands on that joint, man. That joint serious, man. I love that joint. Like, men, women, it didn't matter. Everybody loved that record.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it's cool.
Yeah.
So, that's definitely like, it's one of those records that pretty much, wherever I go, somebody was be like, hey man, I like your work, or if they recognize my work, or they know some of the stuff that I've done. That's definitely, exactly the 3 that you just mentioned is always the 3 that people are like, yo, those are my friends. So I always hear the whole Fall Again thing. Everybody's like, oh, that's the wedding song. Everybody I run into, like friends of mine, they're like, oh man, you gonna sing that at my wedding? I'm like, I got a lot of weddings to sing it.
Yeah. Oh man. Man, this next question might not be very fair, but I know Michael Jackson recorded his own version of the song as a demo. How would you compare your version to his?
Actually, I wouldn't make a comparison. I would more so say that I'm glad that in some capacity I had an opportunity to share any kind of space creatively with Michael Jackson. Especially in light of the fact that, that the huge light that he was, is now it's extinguished, but, basically moved on. And, in light of that, it's kind of crazy because, I always thought, one day I would meet him.
Yeah.
Especially having the opportunity to have, meeting another, another idol I mean, meeting Janet, meeting her sister, I thought, I figured one day I would end up meeting Michael, and to think, that day will never come.
Yeah.
But, that really is no comparison. I mean, it's just, I got a chance to, on some level, I got a chance to, do something with my joy, so to me that's actually more special than it is anything else.
Yeah, okay, that's very fair. Very cool. I want to ask you now, in terms of your career, since your debut album, World Outside My Window, back in the early 2000s, and then there were a couple albums you had put together, I mean, like, Back for More and Remember Me, that weren't released. Was there ever a time when you considered, turning away from music and pursuing something else?
Yeah, but I mean, I definitely had moments where I was like, well, not so much, stopping, but more so taking a break.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, I did. But actually, there was a point where I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna chill for a little while, and I'm gonna let things come to me. And I mean, there were tight spots and frustrating spots here and there, and that kind of contributed to it too. But then there kind of came a point where it was like, okay, I think I need to fall back for a minute, and just maybe take a break, and then whatever it is that whatever the next move, it'll be clear, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta regroup.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where I kind of did that, so I just kind of took a short break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. And if I could get you, comment on the current state of R&B and, what's on the radio right now. It seems like the radio is dominated by, catchy artists who are lacking a little bit in talent. Do you feel there's a place right now for talented artists like yourself who are still making that real music on the radio?
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of artists out there that are diverse and, have different styles and a different approach to things. You can go through the what's the word? I mean, you can see through like different genres or even within the same genre of music. From whether it's you got one artist like Lady Gaga on one side of the spectrum. You got you might have a Beyonce. You got a Usher over here. You got Neo. You got Jaheim. You got Tank. You got Music Soul Child, Anthony Hamilton.
Yep.
There's room for everybody.
Yep.
You got CeeLo. So I think there's room for everybody. I think it's funny. I always hear conversations about, oh man, like it's funny. I think for as long as I can remember, it just feels like it's been so long. Where you just hear people saying all the time, oh man, I don't really like what's on the radio. I mean, I don't know. I know sometimes, they can kind of play things to death, but, when people, that's how it is sometimes when people love a song, sometimes when the companies really want to push a particular song because they think it's, a number one hit. I don't know, just, that all music has its place. All these artists, I feel they have their place because I know that there's still work that goes into that.
Yeah.
There's a level of creativity to be able to, tie in different, marketing schemes and stuff like that. And there's a creative side to that too as well. I can appreciate that. Like, different artists that how they present what it is they're doing is just, that's their thing. For me, I just believe in, I approach my creative process in a different way, not just based on my musical influences.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, just coming from a fan's perspective for a minute, I appreciate your music. I can't really get into a lot of the stuff I hear on the radio, and I appreciate the type of music you make, and I'm always going to be a fan of that, and I hope you just keep going and keep doing it and keep making that music, because there's a lot more fans out there like me, and that's what we want to hear. So I hope you can keep it going.
Oh man, I appreciate that, Slam.
Yeah, no problem. So that's pretty much all I had prepared here. I mean, Can I just get, do you have a release date tentatively for the new album or anything like that?
Yeah, I believe tentatively, you know, the album will be out like February,
Okay.
you know, 2011.
Okay, cool. And, you know, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just, you know, just for fans to keep an ear out, you know, definitely coming, and, you know, definitely gonna, you know, bring the difference to
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, I really, you know, just giving them something that they can live with, and, you know, the aim was making a classic, and I hope that they enjoy it. I want them to know that I love them too, you know, for sticking it out with me, and, you know, it being so long, and still being there. So, you know, just want them to know I love them.
Yeah. Cool, man. Thanks so much, Glenn. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview.
Oh man, thank you for taking the time out, man. This is good. This is really good.
Anytime, man. I can't wait for that new album. So, you know, keep doing what you do, and I'm gonna be listening.
Thanks, bro, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. No problem. Have a good night.
All right, man. You too. Take it easy, man.
All right, man. Bye.